a match. And I'm just like, or I could just go and play it. I could go outside and run around, and that was more was. Or I could go and play like computer games on the same TV. So I was like, why am I not just doing that?
Yeah, well, just to let you all know why we're quickly doing the picks and bans again, it was Team WE locked in a champion which has been banned on 12.4, so they are going to redo the champ select right up until the last one, which I believe was the Braum. So the Braum cannot be picked here. It's obviously a bug on the patch we are not aware of, but it is a bug nonetheless. And their final pick is going to be the Galio coming into this. So this changes their team comp from disengaged into more engaged. And just to come back into this one here, it wasn't Kevin Nash. You were thinking of Steve Nash and Kevin Durant, and you comboed the two together.
Yeah, I just wanted to get like a 2-for-1 deal, like make sure we could, you know.
I was educated
as a caster,
on that.
You work off of word economy. And what this is like how many words you put into a sentence, how quickly you can get it.
It's like writing a thesis.
That was the best way. Yeah. Yeah, except you do the reverse in a thesis. In a thesis, it's like he went to the shop. He strode idly down the pathway that connected to the other road that went to the shop. That's how your thesis works. This is like he went to the shop, just very quickly off rip. I decided to do the same with those two names.
Sometimes you don't even say he went to the shop. You just go, shop!
Yeah.
he shop. Scream it out.
Yeah. But yeah, I just decided to do the same name with the two, same idea with the two names. You know, just collect the two together, save ourselves time. Everyone understood what I was talking about clearly. I didn't need to correct.
Yeah. Honestly, I just bow down to your superior knowledge on things that are basketball related, because I'm not confident enough to correct you. And that's generally how these things go. We are finally jumping onto Rift. That was a fun little segue. As I didn't even know we needed, as we are going to see now the final game between these two sides. I'm trying to think now who the greatest rugby player is of all time and call
Brian
him
O'Driscoll. Next question.
That's not.
It's
not
John O'Driscoll.
Brian O'Driscoll.
It's actually John O'Driscoll.
Not.
Like without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say it's definitely not Brian O'Driscoll. Brian O'Driscoll was great. I love Brian O'Driscoll. He was amazing, but he was not the greatest player of all time.
No, it's definitely John O'Driscoll. Like I still have like I say like maybe once a year or slightly more, I would go back and just watch that clip of him. I think it was against England, where England came out and like, John O'Driscoll, not really a big lad, you know, we can take him. And then he just barrels through like 4 of them. It's just like,
he was like the definition of a freight train. Just like, it's like, you
but
can't stop this.
Well, he had an unreal 100-meter dash as well, didn't he? He's actually like
he was a huge lad, but he went like 0 to 100 in
10.7 seconds, a 100-meter dash, and it was like this dude was a monster of a man. It was terrifying. Like, where's his weight? So 10.7 100-meter dash, you know, 120 kilos. Like, he was almost 2 meters tall. Like, imagine this man like running at you. This guy
imagine not being imagine not being like a forward in a rugby team. You're like a winger or something, and this guy's just barreling at you. You're like, oh god, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. So for our American friends, that's 265 pounds, and in height, from centimeters to feet.
I think that's like 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah. Oh, it's doing it in 6.5 feet, but I don't know what that is.
Because there's 6'6", because it's 12. There's 12 inches or 6.5. There's 13 inches in a foot, isn't there? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Yes.
It's a weird
conversion. Just use metric. Get over it. England and the United States, you just use the metric system. There, I said it. Nothing worse than when you're driving up from Ireland to the north of Ireland and it goes from kilometers to miles. 6'7". Jesus Christ.
6'7". Like, just 120 kilos, and the man could just take off. Like, it was insane.
God damn. Well, England play Ireland in the rugby tomorrow. Not tomorrow, excuse me. Saturday. So I'm gonna be putting out a lot of smack talk onto Scoundrel and Medic. I feel gotta do it. Got my jabs in onto VODS when Ireland absolutely decimated Wales. But let's come back into the game, as we've had a little bit too much fun talking about random tangents. We now know with the Galio, you're obviously going to have a little bit more of a team fight orientated setup. As we can see, Mole now roaming in here and see if he can catch out this rebel. I like this from Baishong. He recognized that there was probably a deep ward going down on top of him, and they're not going to be able to catch him out just yet.
Well, actually, Zika getting some good damage here on BiuBiu. Ignite goes down, but will back away. Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of members of IG up here. GA has no TP to try and help out BiuBiu. This is a dunzo.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be pretty difficult for BiuBiu to get out of. He's exhausted. He doesn't even catch his boomerang. Beishan going to be here. There's the Sonic Wave. He's going to try and get the hop, but he shall not get the skip. And that's going to be first blood going over to IG.
And this is much more confident from IG. This is the kind of stuff that I expected to see from them, especially when GA decided to go towards LeBlanc. You just have no pressure in this lane, so now you drop the kill, you lose the CS, Mo can TP back into mid. It should be relatively alright to not fall too far behind, so it's a nice job from IG in these early stages. But yeah, I want to come back to kind of the way these two team comps function. We kind of already touched on IG being like, look, this is definitely split push comp, has some decent team fighting, but definitely works better where they're working off of getting Zika ahead, looking for Mole to use that realm warp to find picks, and kind of using that function of their composition to move around the map. For WE, it's all about team fights. GA trying to find some poke at the beginning, and Kedaya, if we're coming back to our tangents, is like the John Olonu of this composition. He could be just that massive tackler who's just like, hey, you want to try and get into my backline? Not a freaking hope. Then you've also got the Kedaya who can go forward. He can also take off like a freight train, where he's going to be able to like set him up with GA and BiuBiu to have that like follow up. If they go in aggressive, he can just ult in on top of them and provide that engagement.
You see it there, a little lower third popping up. Zika having a 100% win rate on the champion so far. Has played twice. This will be the third time. 4.0 KDA on the champion as well. What would he be? Would he be the Dan Carter? Is he the Dan Carter was the New Zealand number 10, I believe. Yeah. I do believe it's Carter. I know it's Carter. I just can't remember his first name.
I'm pretty sure it's Dan Carter.
Yeah, he's insane. He's like,
look,
honestly, he's up there in the conversation.
We're just gonna run through the list of All Blacks. That's essentially
every All Blacks team ever to play. It's like, oh, these guys were awesome.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing that like Ireland beats New Zealand in a friendly and the entire country loses its collective mind. It's like, we did it. And it's like, okay, can we do this in the World Cup? Absolutely not.
Isn't there like a very slim list of countries that have actually beaten New Zealand?
I do believe Ireland, Wales, England. In terms of Northern Hemisphere teams, it's Ireland, Wales, England, and France. And I believe
there are seven countries who've beaten the All Blacks in Test. Argentina, Australia, England, France, Ireland, South Africa. So
Wales kind of haven't even done it.
No, Wales have done it.
Oh, okay.
That's why we all lose our collective minds when it happens.
I mean, Ireland has only
doesn't happen.
We've only beaten New Zealand like 4 times in our collective history of nearly like 80 years of rugby. It's kind of insane to think. They're just so good, man. And it's impossible to like hate them as well. It's like normally when a team's like so dominant and so crazy, you're like, oh, I don't like that team because they're like full of arrogance.
It's so good to watch though.
They're so
elegant.
fluid.
It's like it's insane. It's just nuts. But Mole once more is starting to try and get these roams off the top side. Zika though is resetting, so we'll just back away. But yeah, I mean, it's insane watching them. They're just so good.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're gonna see now if they can kind of bring ourselves back into this game. And I apologize to anybody who is obviously waiting for us to talk about the game. Nothing has happened. It's both teams have just kind of wandered around their own jungles, and
here we go.
We could see something finally going in here, but it looks like it's just going to be an evade on the red buff as WE try and gain control around this dragon pit.
And should be able to do so very easily. Kedaya being able to kind of prevent Lucas' engage means that WE have been able to get some push on towards the bot side. IG now, though, with shove in mid, now trying to contest over towards the dragon, and that's the realm warp.
Oh, the realm warp. It's going to go straight into a 2-man taunt. Kedaya going to flash over the wall, get himself to safety, so he will lose a summoner. So you gain a summoner for an ultimate. The realm warp not gaining a huge amount of gold or anything like that for IG, but is giving them pressure.
Yeah, I wasn't actually sure there if you were going to be able to get a good amount of turnaround damage. Like, Mole, not particularly tanky at this stage. Same with Shun. Like, that 3-man unit of WE might have been able to burst out someone, but they will just decide to back away. Zika placing a deep ward there to spot out where Beishan's path team's going to be. But again, we're kind of coming back to this slow, steady push. And when we saw IG make this initial move down or up towards the top side, But since then, Mo's kind of just been stationary in the lane. That realm warp there, trying to see if they can help out. But you have a ton of push once more from Mo. Again, just move up topside, help out Zika, get yourselves ahead. Because if you come into these team fights at a kind of an even state, it feels like, again, they're WE favored.
Yeah, I think it does feel like WE do have the edge on that. And I will say, yes, you got the engage from the Alistar, but you are very reliant on that engage from the Alistar to really set up any kind of big team fight. You know, you're looking to try and catch people out really on rotations as Lucas spotted out here, as well as Mole, as the side of WE start to push in here. And despite the little bit of pressure you gain in that bot side, it does feel like WE are the ones dictating where and when things are happening around this map so far.
I mean, at least IG did get some early plays up, but for WE, definitely the Kedaya is starting to move around. And I kind of prefer Kedaya on these champions where he can have a little bit more pressure as BiuBiu forced to flash from the top side, but being able to roam, being able to have these impact and skirmishes, this was kind of the part where I liked Kedaya when he first came into the league, but still have yet to see very much of these skirmishes hit, have a bit of these actual fights happen as Shun will start up this Rift Herald. Play onto the top side though, potential for the Galio to join.
Zika did get caught out there by the Mega Gnar, forced to use his flash. He's going to pop down the Ignite as well, but I feel like he is just dead. As I say that, I can't actually fully commit to that because the rest of IG are here, and that's going to just stop about a little bit of that Rift Herald take. But all this time, Xing is saying, I'm playing PvE.
Yeah, and Xing is winning this. I mean, they actually completely pulled off the Rift Herald, so now you've got to start it back up again. So Xing will get another wave plonked into this tower. That is so much gold gone to this Aphelios. I mean, look, 600 gold just off of that play, and all this experience and farm being lost in the tower because you've got Wink on the top side.
They still haven't gotten the Rift just yet. You can see Kedaya just kind of roaming up towards this top side, saying, look, you can't go for a dive. They finally take down Shelly, but something happens, but it's more of a push and pull situation. This Aphelios now very, very far accelerated. Going to be able to go back, pick up a Gale Force, you would imagine, and just keep himself ahead of this Jinx matchup.
I don't know if he can actually reset, though, because BiuBiu's still on this top side, and you know the Rift Herald, in theory, will be put up here by IG, but actually it's just going to be Shun backing away. So you can see that Xing kind of staying around here to catch the wave that Zik is pushing in, assuming that Zik is going to go back towards the top side, and that actually does look like it's the plan. It does mean, though, Xing going to be late on the reset, which you would love to go for, as you say, to like get that Gale Force, now move down over towards this Dragon as well, but he's only going to start his recall now, which means there's a potential for IG to snowball this into the Dragon as well, but Shun is sticking around for a little bit too long on this top side. Means that they can try and punish the fact Xing was seen underneath that tower.
Rift Herald taken, you will have that pressure now available for IG as the rest of WE now get their resets in. They're going to be getting themselves back onto the map. You do have the Gale Force, as we just mentioned, finished up here for Xing. As both mid laners trying to go toe-to-toe with each other. Beishan gets himself over the wall, but Mole, very fast, gets himself away.
Yeah, I don't think you really want to fight this as IG, as you said, Gale Force now completed for Xing. He's going to be so insanely strong in these fights. You even got the TP available for BiuBiu, where he can TP to mid, cut off retreats, maybe even TP to bot to do the same. So, bit of a dangerous spot here for IG. I really don't think you fight this.
I know is exactly what you're talking about. Is Lucas gets the knock up down. They're going to try and get Mole in. That's just going to be, yep, pretty damn easy to take down Kedaya. He was left isolated on his own, and the single target CC is perfect for the side of IG to secure themselves that kill.
Yeah, WE just not setting up correctly, getting themselves in a position where they can actually fight, and now Xie definitely losing out of
Mole,
this
I don't know if he is, though, as Mole's going to be forced to go into the stasis. He tries to flash away, will get hit, but the wind becomes lightning as the Mega Inferno. Oh, my lord, they trade it back, and they're going to be able to get the kill on the base, Sean, you imagine, as well. No! Shun misses the Q, not quite able to make it work, but 3-0 in kills. Dragon finally secured here by IG, and it looks like the gears are finally turning. The slow start to the game is starting to look very IG favored.
Yeah, you just don't have the damage there on on WE to take down Mole, and as he starts to run down towards River, you know that that's IG territory. You know that Shun is in that area, and even the Super Mega Death Rocket just able to finish it off. Now Zika going 1v1 against BiuBiu.
Yeah, I will say Zika, though, with the Ignite, definitely felt like he could have gone for something there using the Blade Reforged ultimate as well. So BiuBiu got to go into Mega. I actually feel like he comes out of that a little bit on top.
Sorry, I'm just laughing. You know you play Legends of Because it's just like Blade Reforged is like, you know, Blade of the Exile, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I do. It does mess with the ability names quite a bit because you're just like, oh yeah, this is what it is in Legends of Runeterra, but does not equal out on the same side of this. But
all I'm saying is I need my Ari to throw as many Orbs of Deception as TFT Ari does. Because Jesus, that good.
That's really fun to look at, by the way. It's like starts off really slow and then all of a sudden just covers up like literally the entire map. It's very fun to watch. But also, if you're a TNT person, you're wanting for a good comp, go for Syndicates. Really fun, very powerful right now. On the current patch. But yeah, bot lane turret goes over. That's going to be picked up here by Xing, who, as we said, has just been playing PvE. Got himself about about a 15 CS lead in that bot side. But 2 kills going over to Wink means that he is very much able to keep toe with this Aphelios and stop him from hyperscaling that. We said it's still a 1,300 gold lead, so not going to be the best of situations here for IG to get the Shelly smacking down into this mid lane. Despite the kills, despite Shelly, and despite everything going in favor of IG, it is still only about a 200 gold lead. It's actually pretty damn close.
Yeah. The thing though is that IG, like, it's where that gold is situated. Like, the fact that Mole has a good amount, you're getting that on towards the jungler as well, who can actually start to play between these 2 lanes. But you can see here, yeah, just Xie trying to follow up. Perfect shot there. Means that they can take him down. And with IG having control of River, they're not able to do very much about it. But yeah, coming back into this is like, you've got the gold lead for Mole in that mid lane, which is pretty substantial. He'll be able to take over in that side lane against Xie. Have a lot of that 1v1 damage, especially as he starts to get things like the Force of Nature. The issue though is that when you look at WWE, Xing is huge. Facing 900 gold up thanks to that terror in that bot side already going his way, and now he's just going to move into the mid.
Realm Orb coming in on the base. Shang has no flash, but they're going to try and answer this straight away with a TP. They're going to come in here with the Mega Gnar, 2-man into the wall, and with the Grand Entry, the Hero's Entrance, I should say. Lucas just about surviving, but the Jinx has fallen, and now IG are running for the hills. They're going to catch out Mole and take him down too. All of a sudden, WE turn themselves back on. They get themselves 3 kills, and they get themselves full control of the map.
It was a nice idea from IG. They had vision control in that top side, but just not, again, respecting the fact that Zika doesn't have TP. You are always at the numbers difference advantage, especially after the 14-minute mark. Do not do it, Shun. Back it up, Zika.
I mean, Zika getting caught out underneath the turret, but that turret is yet to fall. Finally does go down. Kedaya does get hit by the Q of Shun, but he shall not reactivate it. He shall not go in against 4 members of WE, and with that turret going down now as well, you can see WE starting to take a little bit of a gold lead.
You see in the replay though, like, you see the pink ward, you know that you've got the TP for BiuBiu on that bot side, and just so much gold going across. Even, like, I can get if you want to try and bait out that TP from BiuBiu, but just not respecting the fact that he had hit the Mega Gnar, had the TP in the perfect spot, and committing, like, the Hex Flash from Lucas puts you all in such a bad spot. BiuBiu just able to chase you down.
And I love the movement we saw from Kedaya. He was able to put himself right on the escape route. He gets the taunt down, so there's no real follow-up to try and help out Lucas, and it also puts the rest of IG into such a precarious situation as Shelly is going to be started right now. You do have a TP onto Mole, and past 14 minutes means he can join any and all fights. Xie now going to be answering that, but just in the same vein as the Riven not having TP, the LeBlanc does not have one of their own. So TP advantage for the moment does go over to the side of IG as Zika tries to make something work with this Riven. And again, like, we could talk about this Riven all day long. It is very much a I win lane. I want to be in my own setup, my own lane, and my own kind of, like, you know, my own earnings. As we can see, Lucas now trying to make something work. Nice flash from BiuBiu, but it is about kind of getting these small wins here for the side of IG to make sure that they're able to keep the advantages and not have these 5v4 skirmishes.
The problem with running the Ignite, though, is that it's good for a lane, not so good when you get past lane. And Zika hasn't been able to make much use of the Ignite in the lane phase, which means that now you need this Riven to pretty much always be situated on the side of the map where the objective is. As you can see right now, Zik is topside. So WE are like, cool, we will end up either just matching BiuBiu with Zik in the top lane, and we just win the 4v4 at the moment thanks to how large Xing is. So Zika needs to start positioning himself around where these objectives are, but it means that then BiuBiu ends up in a relatively alright matchup against Mole. You got Xie, you can kind of like do pretty well against Zika as well, as long as he doesn't get like caught out without some of the stashes. And this Riven just falls off like relevancy. Like, she's not as big in team fights as BiuBiu. Just doesn't have the side lane pressure without the TP. I don't mind if you want to play that style, but then give it more resources than one gank that ends up giving the kill across the bow rather than actually going towards Zika.
Tend to agree. As Zika finally got that gore drinker here, going to be sitting pretty much alone on the side lane as he tries to get some more pressure. You will see IG pretty much concentrating all of their forces towards this bot side as WE get their resets in and get themselves back onto the map. 4 minutes until the next dragon spawns as WE pick themselves up the Ocean Drake. And that's going to be a free tower here for the side of IG, so WE late on the rotation means they cannot answer this just yet. With the push in mid lane, you've already taken that tier 1, but as I say that, Lucas and Sean in a little bit of trouble. There's going to be the double taunt coming in, but a nice headbutt away by Lucas as he tries to keep his jungler alive. They lose so much just from, honestly, lazy pathing.
And now WE have pressure in this mid lane. Wink trying to clear the wave, but has to be careful that he's not being jumped on.
Mole casts a flash over the wall, and that's the big problem there. Moonlight Vigil comes out with the Inferno, tanking up as well the Super Mega Death Rocket here in Xing. This is just small little moments here going in favor of IG. Bit by bit, they're just getting summoners, getting ultimates, getting these smaller cooldowns, and this TP could be very dangerous, but with the rest of IG here, WE decide they do not want to go for the full 5v5.
I mean, a TP, bit of an overcommit anyway. I mean, you've now got no real side lane pressure because that TP is down. 3 minutes until the dragon, but, I mean, Baron is up. Trying to contest all sides of the map is now going to be tough with Mole having that summoner spell down for the next 5 minutes. So, realistically, you've got options here as WE to try and play out side lanes correctly. IG, though, slamming down this Rift Tower, want to try and make use of it, but don't have Lucas here. This is 4 versus 5.
For the moment, you do see Lucas barreling down this mid lane. Looks like it's just going to be Shelly getting the push off. And as I say that, we are going to see Mole getting jumped on. Here goes the hero's entrance into the taunt. He pops down the exhaust, but he shall not be keeping himself alive. Kedaya picks that one up for himself. Zika now has to run himself away as Shun gets the Dragon's Rage kick as a bit of disengage. This is over nothing right now. This is literally a Rift Held charge, nothing else. But Baron is on the cards at WE. They feel confident. Look at the flashes that were blown.
And you've no vision here for IG, so face checking this is a nightmare. BiuBiu will go exhausted, but by the time IG kind of mount an offense here, he should be able to start stacking up that rage bar once more.
I mean, they've caught themselves on the wrong side of the map. Flash in, the cleanse and flash by Wink will keep him alive. Lucas goes in with his ultimate to try and keep himself alive. It's a trade of supports, but look at Xie, unfeared, unafraid to move himself all the way into this backside, and this is just WE picking IG apart.
Yeah, IG playoffs looking fairly ripperino right now as WE will start this one up. No jungler inside Xie with the opportunity to try and poke onto Wink.
And Xie just trying to see if he can get himself onto the backside. BiuBiu, though, has his ultimate, the Mega Gnar, and Wink is dead. Mole with no flash. Realm Warp is not going to be coming out because he has nowhere to put it down. And that's going to be WE just again and again and again getting so much off of this play.
Xing is huge. Xie, massive. I mean, you even look at the assists that are going across to the likes of BiuBiu and Beishang. Like, there's very little here that IG can do. Even Kedaya using the Hex Gate to get across, just to make sure nobody's poking their nose in. And beautiful reset timing here as well. 50 seconds till that dragon means that it could be a second dragon fairly easily on the way of WE. And again, positioning here for IG, major mistakes. Wink forcing flash away. You don't even have the numbers advantage, and there's no reason for everyone to try and barrel in towards the Baron pit, like, especially when you're on the opposite side. Just let one person go in, more than likely the jungler to get some vision, or even Zika if you think he's safe. And again, BiuBiu just hop straight in. Poor positioning from Wink and Mole, because again, they're just sitting beside that wall within leap distance and just take the fight.
Yeah, and I love that the move from Xie. He didn't necessarily need to go behind the Dragon Pit, but basically said, look, if anyone walks into me, we just have the exact same play we just got with Kedaya getting the flash taunt onto the Wink, so no one can really go into there, and then he's able to pincer in with the rest of his team. So Zika, though, with the top lane push, actually going to be able to get this tier 2, and WE, with the Baron at the moment, they need to try and force maybe something onto one of these side lanes that Zika is not in. As BiuBiu with the teleport is going to be able to try and answer this. Kedaya will get the double taunt and was running away, but now with Xing moves forward very aggressively. Lucas does not go down. One more piece of damage would have been able to take him out, but now you have no engage, you have no tank here available for IG, and that means the base is almost certainly going to be cracked open.
Yeah, Zika's getting chased away as well. BiuBiu stopping him from resetting. it's going to be the Moonlight Vigil going wide, but still these Barn Up creeps doing work on this tower.
Yeah, we were talking about rugby earlier. Shing going for the 3 points. Gets himself that between the sticks of Wink and Mole, but now the rest of WE went a little bit too aggressive there. Didn't quite have the position. Zika now joining up with his team. Going to be able to try and deny some more of this push. I feel like IG, if you're going to make a last stand, it's not going to be at this tier 2. I feel like you kind of just let this one go. You do not have the unbreakable will here for Lucas. It's not really a lot of engage options. But WE, they're respecting it because they don't actually have BiuBiu with them.
Gonna back away. So they're all said and done. They're going to be relatively all right. I'm just casting my eyes on the upcoming games we have, to get an idea if we'll... Because I mean, let's be realistic. IG...
I'm looking at something that's not this game.
Yeah, because IG are going to lose this. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have an idea. Rare Adam play Ultra Prime tomorrow. So if Rare Adam win tomorrow, and then...
So I believe so I know what you're going to try and say. I believe we have to wait right up until the end of the split because I believe OMG, unless FBX and Rare Adam get up to 7 wins, unless FBX wins the last few reigns, if OMG are still the last playoff team, we don't know until literally they win or lose all their games.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying.
An idea of when IG would be officially out. It could have been ahead of the next game, but the next game is on Sunday against Top Esports. But yeah, I think if both this game and Top Esports series are gone, that's it. Because I don't even think they don't have the head-to-head against OMG and Rare Adam.
Well, we're gonna see it engage in this bots or top side. As we can see, Kedaya gets a fantastic ultimate had he a team with him. But sadly, he does not. Now IG heard you talking smack right now. They smack right back.
Was it IG smacking back, or was it BiuBiu kind of hitting himself? Because getting completely caught out on the top side. Not exactly the best way to try and utilize the fact you've got this big lead. WE now going to be put on, I won't say the back foot. It just gives IG a bit of an option now to shove out top side, maybe get some pressure.
Breathing room.
Too. Yeah. I'm just trying to see what the thought process was. Yeah, BiuBiu just hits mini, doesn't expect everyone to be in the bush. And Ebon does now, but
what?
Yeah,
what?
You've got WE here.
What?
I don't know. I don't.
What? That was so unnecessary. They missed the engage. You just needed to back away. Oh, unforced errors.
I just don't know how they're not finding the room so stuffy and overheated with all these. It just feels like it's gotta be the most uncomfortable spot.
You know what? I was curious to see where you take it. It did take me a half second to realize what throw meant outside of throwing a ball or something. So
yeah,
well played, Dagda. Well played.
Thank you. I like to go a little bit different. We've heard the catch one before, but a throw for a piece of furniture or for a blanket.
Throw pillows. You ever see those places that have more throw pillows than actual sleep on pillows? Those I don't understand.
Once we have to move them all off the bed, it's just
yeah,
and then you gotta put them all back on.
But that's the thing,
unnecessary.
But also, most people put them just on the floor, right? Because if you're in a hotel or something, you're just gonna put them on the floor. You don't really have a space to put them, which means you're just gathering dust and dirt on the floor, and then you put them back on the bed. What the hell? Yep. It's so unnecessary. Just have your sleep pillows. God damn it. I feel like we've unearthed something in me that I didn't know was an issue, and now I do.
We've had this conversation before. I hard judge hotels based on it. If you have a good pillow,
you are a pillow snob though. Let's be real.
It's not even. It's just a case of realistic. I can sleep on an uncomfortable bed, but if I get an uncomfortable pillow, I'm just screwed. That's me done. No matter how comfy that mattress is, I just need a good pillow.
Literally bought pillows from Shanghai and brought them home as Wink flashes away, Ignite ticking down. Gonna have the safeguard there to make sure he is safe. But
they were good pillows. They were really good pillows.
They were great pillows. You brought them all the way from Shanghai.
That's true,
actually, because you bought more the second time we went over.
Yeah.
We're going to stop talking about pillows for the moment, as we're going to see a bit of an engage coming out. The Moonlight Vigil does come out, but it only hits Mole. There is going to be the heal used by Shing to make sure there's not enough execute damage on that Super Mega Death Rocket. And that's going to be WE backing themselves away again. They're too low, really, to go for this Baron. They're going to have to try and reset and get themselves back on the map. No one's even close to Soul. This game is just... What is this game, man? Back to throw pillows.
This is a series. Yeah, I mean, well, Look, we gotta see where this. Oh, Mole. Oh my
Good. Good.
God.
That was the smartest
Oh
thing
my
he
God.
did. Oh my lord, that could.
That was the dumbest thing I have. I don't know what that thought process was.
No.
Where was
he
that
thought
going?
about it. He thought. I don't even know where it was going.
Oh,
but,
Shun.
Shun. Shun's dead. Shun's dead. They know exactly where he is. They have a ward. He's going to try and get himself away, but with no flash available to him, Shun shall fall, and with no jungler, WE get themselves a free Baron.
The throws are on the floor. the
Gathering
pillows have found their
dirt
way.
before they get put back on the bed.
Oh god. So WE, they will get Baron, and we saw how devastating the last Baron was to IG. They're just not really able to clear out these waves particularly well. Like Wink struggles to clear them. Bull certainly does as well because the AoE damage that he has doesn't really clear very particularly well. And you've got the Dragon. Now in 2 seconds, and with no jungler for IG, it will be WE securing.
I will say though, the Baron is impactful, but not probably as impactful as WE was like. They have a relatively short range composition, unless you of course have Calibrum. Still thinking about those pillows?
No, I thought you were about to say the Baron can be impactful, but not as much as IG and WE's throws this series. I thought you just meant to roast. But
No,
I think like
not
with a
quite,
short
not
range
quite.
composition, the Baron actually like has a bigger impact, right? Because you're never able to siege without it. So the fact that you actually have the capability of sieging, especially with the range that you get off the cannons, it's the only real way that WE can close out this game, because as you say, they are incredibly short.
Yes. In a ring around the rosy kind of way, we are getting to our final results. I sound like you know those pilots who just clearly woke up just before they have to like make an announcement.
And
It's like,
it is about
"Hello,
23 degrees
yeah.
on Summoner's Rift.
On this flight from Dublin to Berlin. And there's like that long pause where he's just like, where am I? Well, Shun is finding himself by the wolf camp as he tries to look for maybe a little bit of a kick engage. And they're going to be able to get out that tier 2 in the bot side. IG slowly but surely finding themselves further and further behind. They are now about 2,500 gold lead behind. They've got a minute and a half left for WE on this Baron. And WE, they're going to want to try and break open the base now. If they can break open the base, that could be huge for them trying to end out this series. Oh, wait. BiuBiu. BiuBiu. What's happening? Why? 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 Now the game's gonna be extended! No!
I mean, I kind of feel bad for BiuBiu. That was just like a bounce house. He just didn't get to play the game for about 4 seconds there. But yeah, overextends, not quite in a position to try and, well, just tries to bite off more than he can chew it. Hey, we're getting mid-tower. As long as I don't get caught on side, we can actually get the inhibitor. But takes that step too far. IG on collapse, and that will kind of ruin the Baron push here. Like, just trying to play off of too many lanes. Like, wave is coming in mid, but this makes it so much easier for IG to make that decision about, hey, where are we going to actually try and engage on? Even gets caught by just the headbutt there. Really needed to flash that instead of trying to rely on that.
And look, I want to clarify something here to the audience. I love the LPL. I love the teams in the LPL. I love casting the LPL. We are the best region in the world, and it's not even close.
And then you left us for LEC. How could you?
Yeah, excuse me. My God.
I'm not the one on trial here, Oisin.
Yeah. Answer the damn question. But look, it is going to be just, you know, it is games like this where I just, you know, it is what it is. I'm not gonna try and sugarcoat it and pretend that these are the 2 greatest teams in the world. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I heckin' love LPL. I heckin' hate bad League of Legends. And speaking of bad League of Legends, we might see some right here. As Shie thought he could maybe go into Shun there, looking for an assassination attempt, but that Gore Drinker doing an awful lot of work.
Yeah, Sterix as well, just coming in to help out. Again, Shun, Derek second, tut.
I thought you said hysterics, and I was like, when did he join
No.
the call?
No, Sterix.
Tag in.
Sterix Gage is not the item that you want to build second anymore. It really does suck.
Explain to us why.
So it used to work off of your maximum health, where you get a big shield off of that. It now works off of the bonus health that you got. So that can like come off of both your levels, which helps, plus certainly your items. So going for something that actually provides a little bit more health first, then transitioning over means that that 30% bonus health shield that you get just actually is relevant and cost efficient.
Thank you. That's probably the most insightful thing we've had to say about this game all day.
That's because nothing is playing as it should.
But also nothing is happening. Like it's a catch every now and again. It's someone getting caught out and killed off, and we might have to see that right here as WWE look like they're getting impatient. They look like they're trying to just make something work. There's the taunt coming out. It's going to be able to catch out Zika as we go in. Luke is going to pop out his own unbreakable will as we get the kickback. Shun not quite in the position as Kedaya goes golden. Shing flashes away. He's just keeping himself alive as Zika is on this backside. While that was all happening, we do see Wink getting excited, getting himself pushing forward and maybe trying to make this one work. But at the end of it all, it's a 3-for-1 in favor of WWE, but these health bars are low. So low, in fact, that Wink feels like he could be a god, but he is not. He is a mere peasant in the eyes of Shing. And finally, after all the pushing and pulling and heartbreak and silly plays, WWE will take the win.
I am just so glad to be out of this game. Watching that last engagement, Lucas missing his combo by headbutting Shing to safety sums up this series. WWE, you have managed to play upset here today, because I think a lot of people watching this game were incredibly upset.
Well, I don't think there's much else I need to say about that. Well played, sir. You know, for me, having my job is to speak. You made me speechless, so well played. Well played.
Yeah.